बामी, अंजना पियर, आगे आ जाओ. Class just come. Come, come. Come guys, come to the first desk. ये इनको क्यों boycott किया है? Come to the first desk. Last two benches. Come. I should not repeat it again. Please come. Be a spot. Come on. No one is going to hang you on the first desk and second desk. Come on. Good morning. Good morning, guys. How are you all? Fine, doing good. Okay, let me share the live. What all things were in news? Don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Future officers, IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS. Don't talk, guys. Abhishek ji, आइए इधर. Nand Kishore, come. क्या क्या न्यूज़ था? What all topics were there in the news? हाँ? What all topics were there in the news? Yeah, please tell me what all topics were there. Yeah, Anand, Ibrahim, what all topics were there? Yeah. Justice. Has justice been served in the National Film Awards? Justice served. और क्या था? वो सब छोड़ो, वो नहीं पूछ रहा आज. हो गया, खत्म. और कुछ? Any other thing? Tiger Reserve. Badran, do you want to sit here? Yes, आसिफ न्यूज़ बताओ. हाँ, सबको पता है. And yeah, you guys, please tell me news. Shinelja, Sona, any news? Janish, news. So, history. Death anniversary of two great freedom fighters, Udham Singh and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So, modern history say this topic becomes important. How, Abhishek? Why this topic is important? Who is doing this commentary? कौन बोल रहा है? Why this topic is important? Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Udham Singh. Syllabus portion. Subject नहीं पूछा. Keywords. बताओ. Which part matches? Abhishek, किधर है Abhishek? Abhishek, which part matches with this syllabus? हाँ. Keywords, please tell me, anyone. Raise your hand. Okay. Freedom struggle. And one more keyword is there. Leher. Keyword from syllabus part. Contribution of. कौन बोल रहा है? Ibrahim. Anand. Good. Abhishek. Contributors and contribution personalities. Okay. Freedom. Struggle personalities. So death anniversary was there. Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He is also known as the maker of modern India. Right? Okay. So father of Indian unrest. Life and background, you can see Maharashtra, he was born and he was a lawyer, scholar, journalist. He has written many books, co-founder of Deccan Education Society. Also in SST, these questions come related to modern history, right? So organization based, who was the leader, who was the founder or co-founder. So this question already came in SSC examination. Key contributions are what? So nationalist, he was a journalist. So he believed in assertive nationalism, which is like a radical, most vocal also. Started Kesari and Maharatha. This is very important. These nationalism also. He promoted what? Ganesh Utsav. Ganesh Utsav and Shivaji Utsav, which is specifically related to the Hindu religion, right? So it was not liked by many people also that he is promoting what? Hindu religion. But the leaders or the people who were participating in freedom struggle, they came from different religions. Yes or no? Different backgrounds. Okay. Next is political leadership. So assertive nationalist. He was a assertive nationalist, radical, and he was a part of this trio also, Lal Bal Pal. Okay, Lala Rajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal. And then famous slogan given by him is very important. You can use this, and this is also asked many times. Abhishek, क्या है बाल गंगाधर तिलक का famous slogan? जोर से बोलो. I shall have it, right? Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. Okay, 1 second. So sedition trials and imprisonment. So he was imprisoned in Mandalay jail where other freedom fighters were also imprisoned. This was a favorite place for keeping the freedom fighters, right? Bal Gangadhar Tilak was also imprisoned at this place itself. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Now he authored Gita Rahasya also. Commentary on Gita, Bhagavad Gita, right? How to understand the Bhagavad Gita and home rule movement. He is responsible for launching home rule movement also with any Besant, demanded self-government. Then Lucknow Pact also. He has a contribution in Lucknow Pact, negotiated alliance between Congress and the Muslim League, and this was the time they came together. Legacy is what? Maker of modern India. So Gandhi ji called him maker of modern India. So we can understand his contribution by the title that was given to him. Now coming to the non-cooperation movement. In UPSC, one question was asked related to Quit India movement, right? The day on which the Quit India was launched. So that was also asked. So this can also be asked. Non-cooperation movements are very famous of the UPSC, right? Freedom fighter Gandhi ji especially. So this movement was under the leadership of Gandhi ji. Causes, there were many causes for the non-cooperation movement. Why? Because these events happened before non-cooperation movement, right? So because of these things, non-cooperation movement was launched, and then it was also decided that if does not work, then we will start with civil disobedience movement also. So next phase will be civil disobedience if government is not understanding our issues. Then launch date of non-cooperation is 1st August 1920. Leader is Mahatma Gandhi. Name itself tells that it is non-cooperation, non-violent with mass civil disobedience, means we will not cooperate with the government. We will boycott the things foreign in nature. Foreign in nature. Okay, we will boycott everything foreign in nature. Okay. So schools, colleges, courts, they were boycotted, goods were boycotted, and then government titles and services also were boycotted. Promotion of Swadeshi and Khadi, Panchayat, national education institutions were promoted, and it had a strong social base, rural, urban, and student participated. Hindu Muslim unity. So Lucknow Pact 1916, right? So Hindu and Congress and Muslim League also came together. So here also support was there, and then withdrawal was Chauri Chaura incident. Why non-cooperation movement was not a success? Because Chauri Chaura incident happened, which was a violent reaction of the mob, and that was not liked by Gandhiji. So he did what? He stopped this non-cooperation movement, suspended the non-cooperation movement. So question in mains also question comes based on the approaches of the freedom fighter like Tilak and Gandhi. what is the approach of Tilak and Gandhi, the way they used to do the work? Like Congress has seen many phases. When Congress started in 1885, this body was formed. So it has seen many phases under different leaders, right? So first was moderate phase, then extremist phase came. So their method was totally different. Prayer and petition was moderate phase work thing. Okay, prayer and petition means that just asking and for the British government for doing the things. So Tilak approach was different and Gandhi's approach was different. So he used religion festivals, Shivaji, right? Shivaji festival he used to do what? Raise the nationalism feeling in the people. Gandhi, non-violence, truth, Swadeshi, and then home rule. His contribution is what? Home rule league movement and Kesari, Maharatha also you can write. And one more thing was there which I mentioned is Gita Rahasya. When he was in Mandalay jail, he wrote Gita Rahasya. So definitely any of the books can be asked. Okay. Next is assertive phase of Congress was seen, and here mass movement was there under Gandhiji's leadership. Now coming to the GS paper 1, what kind of question can be asked? This is just a model question. Role of Bal Gangadhar Tilak in assertive nationalism. So this is very important. Leader can be different, but assertive nationalism, the phase of nationalism, this can be asked. And you can give the example of Bal Gangadhar Tilak. How did his ideology shape the 20th century freedom struggle? So leaders' name, their way of working should be known, and then you can write the answer very well if you know the question is about the nationalism. Okay. Next is question time. Answer is what, Abhishek? Answer kya hai? Which of the following events are associated with Bal Gangadhar Tilak? This is also one of the kind of questions that UPSC is very much interested in, right? Associations of different personalities. Answer is A. क्या बात है सर, क्या बात है, फुल अटेंशन है, बात करते हुए भी अटेंशन दे रहे हो तुम, कैसे? अच्छा इसका बताओ, नंदकिशोर इसका आंसर दिख नहीं रहा, किधर है? बाल गंगाधर तिलक वाज एसोसिएटेड विद व्हाट? ही वाज एसोसिएटेड विद बाल गंगाधर तिलक. तो ये तो क्या ही पता चलेगा, पूरा मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री है, राइट. Second question, UPSC this year itself it was asked. 2025 paper, how many of you have seen 2025 paper? Raise your hand. Raise your hand please. Prelims 2025 paper, how many of you have gone through the paper, all the 100 questions? 2025 UPSC CSE prelims paper, how many of you have gone through? Very good. So this question came on the non-cooperation movement. The statements are: the Congress declared the attainment of Swaraj by all legitimate and peaceful means to be its objective. So attainment of Swaraj by all legitimate and peaceful means is related to non-cooperation movement. Now it will be implemented in stages, with civil disobedience, non-payment of taxes to be the next stage only if Swaraj is not achieved. Okay, and government resorted to repression. So what is the answer? Correct answer? One statement is correct, two is correct, or all of them are correct, or none is correct? Leher, which statement is correct? अच्छा, non-cooperation है ना, so क्या है, दोनों, both the statements are correct. Any guesses? Non-cooperation, I told you, non-violent movement, right? And civil disobedience has to be the next step if Swaraj is not achieved. This was also mentioned. Correct? So both 1 and 2 are correct. Now, Prime Minister Modi praises Kaziranga's AI-powered grassland bird census in monthly radio program. Grassland bird census. This is very important, first of its kind, one of its kind, right? And it is AI powered. So India is fully utilizing the benefit of AI, artificial intelligence. So this is the first ever grassland bird census conducted in Kaziranga National Park, which is in Assam. Okay. Then he highlighted this thing. that why it is important for biodiversity management, and what was observed from this bird census is that 43 species of grassland birds were recorded, and then includes critically endangered, also endangered, vulnerable species. Now method that was used was what? So there are two methods called as active acoustic recording, where we trap or we record the sound, right? Active is there and passive is there. Active means that we'll be disturbing the environment, and passive is what? Without disturbing the environment, without creating any sound, we'll be listening to the things that are happening in the nature environment. Okay, so these are the two kind of recording that are used for observing these things. So this passive was used while doing this first grassland sensor. Then other tools were also used, like bird net and spectrograms, for identifying the bird calls. Now these are the species that are highlighted. Priority species, Bengal florican, scientific name is given, and their IUCN status is also given. Many times these species are asked in the examination. Left side they will be giving the name of the species, right side they will be giving the protection status. Okay, so you have to match the things. So these are the Indian grass birds are there which are near threatened. This is critically endangered, Bengal florican, which is important. Now, importance of grassland. This becomes important because it's the first ever grassland bird sensor. Now, bird sensor is also important, but grassland bird sensors is also important, right? So, what is the importance of grassland? Are they protected? Grasslands? Are grasslands protected? So, they are also a part of ecosystem, right? Correct? Part of ecosystem, but do we protect them? No. No, right? So, what do they do? The importance is that they support many of the animals, herbivores, carnivores, feed livestock also, plus humans also, water regulation, soil, fertility, carbon. Again, managing the carbon, storing the carbon, depositing the carbon within itself is again important part which grasslands do. Now, 25% of India's land mass. See, these facts are very important. If any question comes on the grassland, how you can start the answer or what all things can you include in the answer, these facts become important for that thing. Okay, what is the report saying? 25% of Indian grasslands are there. Landmass is covered with the grassland. Second thing is what? That only less than 5% are protected. Okay, so this is the situation. So we have to protect it. And then global names, different names are also used for grasslands. So this is savanna, steppe, prairie. Now, tiger population. So on 26 July we celebrated what? International Tiger Day. Why tigers are important? Why tigers are important? Yeah. Food chain, biodiversity. Then any other thing? Huh? Batao? Any economic impact? Economic impact? Cultural impact? Tigers, are they culturally important? How? Economic impact? Economy, can you relate it to the economy part? Huh? So when we talk about one topic now, there are different dimensions that we can add. And where do we find the most tigers, most number of tigers? Which state? Sure. First, highest tigers are found in Uttarakhand. Second, Karnataka, Bandipur. Okay. Okay. So update this thing. First is 29. Yes, 29 July. Correct. 29 July. So 29 July is the International Tiger Day. Yeah. So 2014, what was the number? 96. And 2024, 148. Kaziranga has the third highest tiger density globally. And then there are different things that we use for trapping the tiger count, right? Challenges are there. What challenges do tiger face? Habitat fragmentation, human wildlife conflict. So human animal conflict is faced by every animal, right? Agricultural pressure is also there. They are losing their home. Now, Kaziranga National Park. Location is Assam, which becomes very important. It is a World Heritage Site also. Famous for other species are also there, which is one-horned rhinoceros and then wild water buffalo also. And it has the second largest butterfly habitat. Next is, these are the bodies that protect the tiger population, right? So first is NTCA, second is the Project Tiger, which works for the protection of tiger, and then IBCA is there, International Big Cat Alliance, which is also in news, which is doing a good work and protect 7 big cats. Then Wildlife Protection Act, Schedule 1, IUCN, Endangered Species, and CITES is Appendix 1. This is the protection status of tigers. Now, question, grassland and the protection. Grassland are the most productive but least protective ecosystem in India. In this regard, evaluate the significance of first ever grassland bird census. How this is important and what effect it is going to have on the grassland, the conservation of grassland. Now, this question. This is okay. So it is talking about the other species also, but one species we know. IUCN status क्या है tiger का? What is the IUCN status of tiger? Vulnerable? Critically endangered? No, endangered. Yeah. So this we know that this is wrong. So we have to say what all things are correctly matched. So second one is wrong. Others you can see. Okay, in the grassland, trees do not replace the grasses as part of an ecological succession. This is the 2013 question which came and it is related to environment. Grasslands, trees do not replace the grasses as part of an ecological succession because of what? So this is a basic concept question which can be asked. So you have to understand, right? Now grasslands are in news, grassland birds, and so you can expect the question like these based on the grassland, right? So answer is what? C. Again, Buddha's sacred Piprava jewels returned to India after 127 years. Buddha's jewels have returned to India. Repatriation. Repatriation. This is related to history again and related to Buddha. But many other things are also associated with this thing. Ethical concerns are also there. Protection of cultural heritage, right? Syllabus part kya hai? Which syllabus part matches with this thing? Repeat this thing only. Any other syllabus part? Cultural heritage. Then history to subject hai, okay. Then cultural diplomacy, right? Because it was auctioned in some other country, right? So cultural diplomacy also becomes very important for us. Yes or no? So what are the things associated with this? That we have to see. Basic details are there that Hong Kong, it was auctioned. It was going to be auctioned. And then India raised a concern because it is related to the colonial history also. During colonial time only, this went to some other people. They acquired this thing and they made it a private thing, right? That it is a private object. Now, action taken by Pirosha Godrej and in collaboration with Ministry of Culture. So this is like a public and private partnership example that how people can also work together with the government and then good result can come with the participation of both the players, right? Now, what are the Piprava relics? The location is what? Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so Buddha. was there in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Nepal. He was almost there in the northern India. And then this location is Piprahava, which is in Uttar Pradesh and near Indo-Nepal border. It was discovered by William Claxton Pepe in 1898, and it has what? Jewels and ornaments and bone fragments are also there. What is the, see, stupa is there. Stupa is associated with this thing, Piprava stupa. So first of all, when we talk about Buddhist architecture, some uh, some things are very important, like stupas are there, viharas are there, right? So what is the purpose of a stupa? Stupa used to store the relics of Buddha, right? This was the origination of the stupas. So this Piprava statue is believed to have the relics of Buddha. This is why it becomes important, because Buddha and India, right? We have a rich heritage and we own it. Yes or no? Buddha, right? Everything associated with Buddha, it started from India, right? Buddha's legacy. So it becomes very important. How can any other person in this world auction things related to Buddha, which belongs to us? Correct. If during colonial history, what happens is many of the things used to go out from India without, because Britishers were ruling, right? So it was very hard for them, very easy for them to take anything from India and take to their motherland. Any person could do anything, right? So, but now when India is independent, everything is going. So we have a right to have this objection, because on the international level also there is a framework which does what, preserve the cultural history or cultural heritage of every country. So based on that thing also, it is not okay to do anything associated with any country, right? And there are soapstone crystal casket also. So these are the things that are stored in this thing, Piprava jewels. Now it has a deep religious and archaeological significance for Buddhists worldwide. This is why it is very important. And there are other relics also. Some relics were taken by this Pepe, right? And then the remains were there in Indian Museum, Kolkata. So it was found in 1898 and 2013, gems passed to his descendant. 2025 auctioned and India raised the objection. July 31, it was returned to India. Now legal notices were sent to the people. Now the significance part becomes important for us. Strategic and diplomatic significance. What are the strategic and diplomatic significance? So it shows public-private partnership, right? Exemplary example. You can use this example in your answers whenever a public-private partnership question comes. Now is another thing, which is ethical concerns of government buying spiritual artifact in commercial setting. Next is, this can also be seen as a using the soft power to assert India's Buddhist legacy, right? Soft power. Cultural diplomacy. Next is cultural diplomacy. It highlights India's proactive cultural diplomacy. So this is the Prime Minister's statement. It would make every Indian proud that sacred relics have been returned, and it illustrates our commitment to preserve the aspect of the culture of India, right? So pointers are what? You should know the location of Piprava stupa, which is very important. Question, what kind of question can come? So this repatriation of cultural artifact. Anjana PR, don't talk. Repatriation of cultural artifact in the context of India's soft power projection and cultural diplomacy. Second thing is public-private partnership in preserving cultural heritage. How is it working, right? So these are the questions. Ethical and policy implications are also there. So there is a lot to do when we want to take back our things associated with history or culture of India, any other country, right? So there is a lot to do for that thing. India, not only India, every country needs that repatriation policy framework. It should be clear. And then global legal instrument also is important, so that everyone listens and follows. So questions are like, what are the relics, Piprava relics of Buddha? Abhishek, क्या है Piprava relics of Buddha? Piprava relics of Buddha is what? Anand? Piprava relics of Buddha are what? Comprises of Very good. Then jewels, right? Gold jewels ornaments wore by Buddha believed to be. What are the Piprava gems? Relic collection from Piprava consists of 349 gemstone and ornaments. What is the controversy? So we know what is the controversy. Significance of repatriation. So it showcases our glorious culture and the stand of India also. Why it is important. Next time anyone does anything, it will not be easy for them, right? So it talks about what? The post-colonial cultural justice also. Now, these all things I have added so that you know that what are the limitations when public-private partnership is there and what are the strengths when public-private partnerships are there. So, strengths are what? Avoids government involvement when people itself are taking the lead, right? In commercial auction market, and they become the eye of the government. People also become the eye of the government. Fast tracks the repatriation, corporate participation is there, and then it sets example for other auctions also, right? This is the strength. Now limitations are what? Relies on goodwill and interest of private industrialists. So not everyone will be doing this thing, right? So not everyone can be asked to do this thing. Raises question on ownership right after acquisition by a private party. Next is precedent where private players control sacred artifacts and no institutional legal framework is there. So these are the limitations associated with this PPP. Now these are the pointers. Question. Repatriation of cultural artifact is both a moral and diplomatic necessity. Then second, again on PPP can be a game changer in preserving the cultural heritage. Now, the next thing is Kamchatka earthquake. Earthquake was there, magnitude 8.8, right? What is an earthquake? Earthquake is what? Sudden release of energy. Yeah. So this is the shake intensity of the earthquake. And the 10th strongest earthquake worldwide since 1900. So these are the images of the earthquake. Now, it is one of the strongest on record and it triggered a tsunami also. So tsunami comes when? Because of many reasons, right? Volcanic eruptions, earthquake, right? So sudden release of energy and it leads to tsunami also. Now the important thing is Kamchatka, the location and ring of fire, right? Pacific ring of fire is there, horseshoe shaped, right? So we saw that there were no casualties recorded due to low population density, right? In Nepal, 2015, one earthquake was there, a magnitude of 7, I think. But many, 15,000 people, I think, around 15,000 people died, right? Many casualties were there. So what happened is that here low density area was there. This is the Pacific ring of fire, horseshoe shaped, right? You can see the shape of this thing, which is a very active zone. So this belt is most seismically active zone on Earth, and it accounts for 80% of the world's largest earthquake. So related to Pacific Ring of Fire, one question can come based on the statements. These statements can be given and you have to know exactly the statement. You have to memorize this thing related to the Ring of Fire so that you can choose the right answer. Now countries which circle along the Ring of Fire include what? Russia, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Australia, USA, Mexico, Chile and Peru. Now, subduction. This is the image, Kamchatka. This is the Kamchatka, and then Pacific plate is there. So subduction is a tectonic process where a denser oceanic plate slides under a lighter continental plate. Subduction zone. It creates stress along plate boundary released as earthquake and volcanic eruption. So Pacific plate is subducting under the Eurasian plate near Kamchatka. So this is why This is the example of subduction driven earthquake. These are the examples: Japan, Alaska and Chile. Now, historical seismicity in the Kamchatka region. So this is the historical seismicity. Region between Kamchatka and Japan has seen 130 plus quakes. This is not important for the exam, but you can have a look at the facts. Now this is global earthquake zone, which is Alpide belt, mid-Atlantic ridge. So it accounts for 15 to 17% of global quakes, passes through densely populated region, and the casualties could be more. Indian subcontinent, Nepal earthquake, and then mid-Atlantic ridge is there, which runs from Arctic to the Antarctic. When earthquake is in news, right, and this big earthquake is in news, so you should know basic fact. This is a static part that you can read and memorize, because definitely we can expect a question based on these data, the facts, right? So because it was less populated, because of that thing, casualties were not there. Now the syllabus part: prelims, ring of fire, alpine belt, mid-Atlantic ridge is there. Now mains part is what? Causes and distribution of earthquake globally. Prelim syllabus: geography, mains geophysical phenomena. Now you should know the location. Location is very important because this news is very important, right? Kamchatka Peninsula, Circum-Pacific seismic belt, and earthquake prone region. What regions or which states are highly prone to earthquake in India or at high risk? There are different zones divided in India: zone 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Like that. So which is the highly risky zone for earthquake in India? Zone 5. States, high risk states for earthquake: northeastern states. And Abhishek, कौन सा zone है? कच्छ है. State बताओ, state. Question सुना तुमने? Northeastern states and नंदकिशोर और अंडमान निकोबार है इसमें, है, एंड उत्तराखंड है, जम्मू कश्मीर है अर्थक्वेक में, नहीं है, है. So okay, Himalayan belt, Indo-Gangetic plain, Kutch, northeast India. Very good, Abhishek. Okay, what now the basic concept thing: what is an earthquake? Sudden release of energy caused by movement of tectonic plate. Next is focus and epicenters are there. Two important terms are there: focus and epicenter. UPSC has asked question on this thing also. What is focus and epicenter? Their definitions were given, which was actually interchanged. And what is the focus? Abhishek पढ़ो, बता दो. Focus क्या होता है? Earthquake originates, epicenter, earth surface. The energy that is released point on the earth surface directly above the focus. Now earthquake, this is important guys, this statement is important because earthquake intensity is highest at the epicenter and decreases with distance. Now there are two things associated with when we talk about earthquake: plate tectonics is there, continental drift theory is there. These were given by continental drift theory was given by Alfred Wegener. He told that movement of continents are there, and then plate tectonic theory came explaining the movement of plates. Now there are two different kinds of plate, major and minor plates are there, right? You can read it about, read this thing in geography. I think everyone knows about this thing almost, है ना? Major and minor plates. Plate boundaries are there: divergent, transform, and convergent plate boundary, right? So divergent is what? They drift away from each other, plate boundaries. Next is transform plate boundary, which is like they collide with each other. Convergent is what? Convergent is plates collide together, and this is like when transform will move, slide past each other, some shaking will be there, right? So that creates the earthquake. Subduction zone we already covered. Now ring of fire. Importance of ring of fire is what? Highly prone to earthquake and volcanoes, and 75% of world volcanoes and 80% of largest earthquake happens in the ring of fire. Countries, we already saw these countries are there. So this is all about the earthquake. Tsunami, this is like series of ocean waves, and earthquake many of the times create tsunami, right? And this time also tsunami was there because of this earthquake. Now recently NISAR satellite was launched, right? Will it help in managing the earthquake or the tsunami disaster? Is it going to help? Right? How? Why is it going to help? Early warning system, correct. So this is going to study the earth the way it was never studied, right? So it is going to give us real-time tracking will be there, early warning system will be there, and based on that information data, we can take measures, right? Now, it will help in disaster management. So this all you can read, right? Ki what we can do while disaster is there, and post disaster also what can be done, right? To give the relief to people. Okay. Now, these are the things that you should know. Kamchatka, ring of fire, seismic belts, plate boundary, epicenter, and this is related to disaster management. Now, the Cholas announces, okay, PM Modi in Tamil Nadu highlights, announces statues for Chola kings Raj Raja Rajendra at Gangaikonda Cholapuram event. Okay. So Prime Minister visited Tamil Nadu. So when Prime Minister goes to any place, it becomes important for us, right? For history perspective also and other perspective also. What happened when Prime Minister visited? He talked about Abhishek, क्या बोला Prime Minister ने वहां जाकर? Culture and history, very good. And talked about the Chola dynasty, their legacy, and how we are learning from the Chola dynasty, the way they used to function and how they are influencing us. In modern time also, what is the influence or importance of the Chola dynasty? This is what we are learning from Cholas, right? So Cholas were great people, yes or no? Why? Does anybody know? Because of the maritime dominance and diplomacy. This word is important. Maritime dominance. They were the first who did what? Expanded the empire beyond the map of India, right? So beyond the India context and diplomacy also. Currently also the way they function, there are cultural roots associated with India. The way in the Indonesia or other countries, the way people behave, right? The culture, the history, or some customs are there which belong to what? Which is the influence of the Chola dynasty, right? So this was highlighted, okay? Now, what happened is Gangaikonda Cholapuram, this name was given when Ganga territories associated with Ganga, and Rajendra I won this thing, Ganga territories, right? And he got this thing and he gave the name to Gangaikonda Chola, the victory over these areas, northern areas related to the Ganga river. Now, launch of a coin and exhibition was there to commemorate 10,000 years of Rajendra I northern campaign. So this became the focus. Now, one of the longest recorded dynasties are there. Cholas are what? One of the recorded dynasties. And prominent king was who? Rajendra I was there. Raj Raja Chola was there. So, resurgence. They grew again in 19th century CE under Vijayalaya Chola. So, he founded the dynasty. And this is the expansion of the Chola Empire. Chola Empire is almost every year it is in news, right? 2-3 times it is in news because of some reasons. So kingdom stretched across present-day Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. So these are the rulers and their activities, the things that they did when they were on the throne. Raj Raja 1 expanded territory eastern coast to Kalinga, which is Odisha, right? Kerala, and weakened the Pandyas. Started Sri Lanka campaign, initiated Brihadeshwara temple, which is very important for us. It is a World Heritage Site also. Brihadeshwara temple, finest example of Brihadeshwara temple is the ultimate finest example of Dravidian architecture. Okay, Dravidian architecture. It's a very beautiful temple. Rajendra I, known as the Rajendra the Great, and Patliputra. The expansion was till Patliputra. Naval expeditions to Southeast Asia also, and founded this Gangaikonda Cholapuram, another city, right? Developed a well-administered, wealthy empire. Now, extent of Chola Empire we already know. So these are the images that were posted. Society and administration becomes very important for us. There are many inscriptions. Inscriptions, you know, right? Inscription. There are many inscriptions. Copper plate and temple inscription are there, which gives a information about the society, the culture, the economy of the Cholas, right? So units were there. Administrative units like Ur, Nadu, Nagaram and Nattar. These were the units, and they were known for self-governance, right? And village council. So when we talk about India being the mother of democracy, what is the reference we are giving? When Prime Minister in 2023 said that India is the mother of democracy, why did he say this thing? Hmm? Because the way India used to work in ancient times also, democracy, some elements of democracy was there. People used to participate. Village councils are there, right? Who will be in the village council? People only, right? They will be administrating the things, right? At the local level, self-governance is there. So people are coming and participating, right? They are administrating the units. Decentralization was there. Is it currently there in the administration of India, Abhishek? Decentralization hai? Self-governance hai? Okay. Taxation system, over 400 types of taxes are mentioned in the inscriptions. Veti, Kadamai and others are also there. Cultural contribution is very, very important. Cultural contribution of Cholas. So the Dravidian temple architecture started with which dynasty? There are two, in fact, three types of temple architecture. First is Nagara style of temple architecture. Second is Dravidian. Third is Vesra. Vesra is a mix of Nagara and Dravidian style of architecture. Dravidian south, Nagara north, right? And then Vesra is like central India. Okay, so this Dravidian style Pandyas or Pallavas? Started with Pallavas. Very, very important. And then reached to the height, zenith in the Chola Empire. It reached to the zenith of the Dravidian architecture during Cholas, right? So Brihadeshwara temple is one of the finest example. I told you there are many temples which are there in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Vimanas were very great, gigantic, and 10th century Cholas more prominently started making structural temples. This is a bronze statue of Nataraj, right? Nataraja bronze statue, which is again the finest example of sculpture of India. Abhishek, finest example of sculpture of India. Statue